That was one of the questions that I was having, like, because we have developed a little bit the sport, and at some point, you were born in Brazil.
Yeah.
For how long did you live in Brazil?
So I moved when I was 12.
You moved from Brazil to Los Angeles when you were 12, and your dad straight went into like building the Caique Academy in this case.
Yeah. So he went, I think, in '95. And he was one of the main teachers at the Gracie Academy from '95 until 2001, I believe. That's when he started his own school. So he left the Gracie Academy, he started his own school, and I moved in 2002. So when I moved, he already had his own school.
Okay.
My brother had gone earlier. So my brother trained at the Gracie Academy with him for a while.
You and your brother, how much?
5 years difference. So we both moved at 12, but about 5 years separate. I think my dad went in '95. I think my brother around '97. And then I went in 2002, right around that time. So then my dad had already his own school and was already kind of going for a bit.
Cool. Next question. You're born, naces en una familia donde me imagino que todo era jiu-jitsu. Tu hermano practicaba jiu-jitsu, tu padre era campeón incluso de Brasil de jiu-jitsu. Pues prácticamente se puede decir que los Gracies eran tus tíos también, o sea, tenías una relación muy cercana con ellos y veías esto. Te introduces al deporte de forma totalmente natural, que ni te acuerdas, que es como algo que ni pensabas, o tienes una sensación de, no, yo tengo que estar, aunque no me guste, tengo que meterme en este deporte porque todo el mundo, mi padre lo está practicando. There is a way of like, I went on the road and I didn't even thought, and I was already doing kimuras, and there is like a way of, my dad is doing it, I have to do it. You know, what is your approach?
So my dad left when I was 5. So before this, I just played. I don't remember. I remember doing chokes on my dad and doing armbar, messing around with him. But I started to do classes after he left. The original Gracie, one of the main well-known Gracie Academy was in the same building as my school. So my school was owned by my dad's friend, and in the front building was the jiu-jitsu school. So I would go there after. My mom would take me, would pick me up after. So I would train, and I remember the class just being more fun, like a fun thing. And we played games, and we did jiu-jitsu. It was really fun. It's funny because now, like at that time, it was just normal. But my first teacher there was Royler Gracie, which is like a legendary guy in the family, champion, MMA champion. I remember he would not be in class sometimes because he was going to Japan to fight MMA, and at the time it seemed normal. Now I think about it, like that's crazy. So then, in Brazil, I was not so consistent with it. I would train, but like not so consistent. I got to yellow belt. And then when I moved to the US, I was 12. Then I was training maybe 2 times a week or so. So it was not very intense, I enjoyed it. I was at the academy all the time. It was nice. For sure, I think a little bit as I got older, I was like, oh, I don't want to do this, And now I look back, and of course, I just wanted to be lazy and play video games. And my dad never forced me. He said, you have to do an activity. Go play soccer, basketball, pick something. And I said, when I knew that it would be harder to begin something new then. So I said, okay, I'll train. Okay, 2-3 times a week, So I tried to stay that. And around 14, I would start to go to the 13 probably. I'd start to go to the adult classes. So I was doing class with the adults as well at that point. And then my brother and I, around 14, 15, started to compete against adults at that time as well.